The Creator is a visually stunning movie with a lot of cinematic wide shot. The acting was okay. John David Washington is John David Washington. The girl who plays Alfie, I would say, is the strongest actor in the movie. The other actors did an okay job. Nothing that would blow you away, but they keep you engaged. The story, on the other hand, is far from terrible, but sometimes I was left confused. When I left the theater, I had more questions than answers. In the movie, we were trying to find the creator of AI. Seems simple enough. Well, maybe not. So let's dive in and talk about the creator of confusion. But first, let's explain the gist of the movie. Joshua is an undercover American soldier married to Maya in a place where AI are not outlawed. When a raid goes wrong, the US uses their Death Star satellite to destroy their house. It results in the town getting destroyed and Joshua losing his arm and leg. Some years later, the US approaches Joshua for help to find a weapon the AI built, because he's the only one who knows the area. He declines, but then the US tells him Maya is still alive and in this area, so he decides to help in hopes of being reunited with her. Him and a group of soldiers are sent to find a weapon, but they find something else, an AI child. An AI child that will grow to be able to control all electronics, named Alfie. Then reinforcements come in to kill the soldiers. When the soldiers start losing, the Death Destroyer shoots a missile down and destroys the area. Joshua, Alfie, and a few soldiers barely get away. Joshua and Alfie then meet up, and it seems Alfie knows Maya, so they go on this journey to find her. But the US is like, Joshua, give me the child! They work together to destroy the Death Star satellite and end the war. But I'm sure you're wondering how all this started, so let's go back to the beginning. For context, humans started creating robots and using them as servants. Then they started making the robots more intelligent, making them AI, and they started living lives like everyone else. That was until a nuke went off in LA, killing hundreds of people. The US banned all AI and wanted the rest of the world to follow this new rule. Some countries didn't agree though. This started a worldwide war between AI and humans. Now remember, I said the nuke went off in LA. We were told at the beginning that AI launched the nuke and that's why AI was banned, which sparked the war. Okay, that works, but later we're told AI didn't launch the nuke and it was a human error. So which one is it? Which one am I supposed to believe? I don't know.
Because I didn't see it. Neither did anyone else.
They should have had the main character, Joshua, find this information, considering this is personal for him since he lost his family in the blast. Maybe this is why he joins the AI side of the war. Or even better, show us what happened, which leads me to my second problem of this movie. There are a number of flashbacks in this movie. In the beginning, it was a little confusing because the movie didn't tell us it was a flashback. They just jumped back and forth. The only way we are able to tell it was a flashback was because of Joshua's hair. In the present, Joshua has his hair braided, but in the past, he has it in a fro. Now, while I'm watching the movie, he goes to this building. And what's the first thing he does? He unbraids his hair. Why? Why? That was the only way I could tell. Eventually, I figured it out. It was the present. But this left me confused for a good 5 minutes. Some flashbacks were well placed and others fell out of place. And there were a lot of flashbacks they could have had. So much exposition could have been cut out if they just showed us. Show us what happened in LA. Show us who set off the nuke. Show us who created the AI, which brings me to my next point, the creator. For context, in a flashback, they show Joshua is living with a woman named Maya, but then there is a raid on the house and we find out that he is actually an undercover US agent trying to find the creator of AI, also known as Nirmata. And the US knows Maya has a connection to Nirmata. Now back to the present. In the first quarter of the movie, neither Joshua nor the audience knows who the creator is. Then we find out that the US knew Maya was Nirmata but didn't tell Joshua. When I heard this, I was really confused. Remember how I said robots were created first, then AI? Next the nuke, then the war? Well, the blast happened 15 years ago. This war has been going on for at least 10 years, but AI has been around for longer. Maya's age just doesn't line up. Then later on, we find out it was her father who created the AI, not her. They did a good job of introducing us to the father and showing how he created the AI and, oh wait, no. They just told us it was her father. So I have a few questions. Did he create the first AI? Did he know the nuke was human error? Is that why he's a fugitive? Why would he create an AI that needs to grow to its full potential when you need to stop the war now?
More questions than answers there.
It gives us two conflicting statements without telling us which to believe. This movie tells us everything, but for some reason doesn't want to show us. There are multiple points in this movie where it's hard to keep track of time. For context, after Joshua and Alfie escape the explosion, they run into another soldier, steal the car, and they start driving. Then the soldier dies, and Joshua and Alfie switch cars and catch a ride with a family. The next scene is the US showing up to the car looking for Joshua and Alfie, and I was surprised. The US is catching up to them. They see the dead soldier in the car, and he said, "He's been dead for hours." Hours? How long has it been? We just left this area and everything looks the same. It looks like the same exact time of day. It was hard to tell the passage of time or exactly when things were happening. One thing they use to help the passage of time are B-rolls with voiceover. When this happened, it added to my confusion. The first time, it was fine, but the second or third time, it made me lose track of where we were. This isn't a big issue, but it didn't help. Alfie gets shot and Joshua is told to take Alfie to Ramada to get fixed. But in the next scene, Alfie is fine. And one last thing, when Joshua went back to the house that he and Maya lived in that was destroyed, wasn't the air supposed to be toxic because it was destroyed by a missile? Isn't that why when Alfie ran out of the vehicle to Joshua, the driver closed the door because of the air? So why was Joshua completely fine after removing his helmet? Anyway, like I said, it's a good movie to watch in theaters if you want to get out of the house, but I could have waited until it was available on streaming or for rent. Overall, I would give this movie a 5.5 out of 10. What did you think about this movie? Maybe you liked it more than I did. I want to hear your thoughts. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and until next time.
Let's go.